Hello everyone. In this video, I'll show you a brief lesson about the basis of compensation and the factors that can influence it. So let's begin. There are 5 bases of compensation: the piecework basis, the hourly basis, the daily basis, the weekly basis, and lastly, the monthly basis. The first one is the piecework basis. When we say piecework basis, from the word piecework, in this basis, the compensation you will receive will depend on the number of pieces or units you produce. The more units you produce, the more compensation you will receive. The second one is the hourly basis. The hourly basis, from the word hourly, the compensation here will depend on the number of hours you work. The more hours you work, the more compensation you will receive. The third basis is the daily basis. In this basis, the compensation will depend on the number of days you work. The more days you work, the more compensation you will receive. The fourth one is the weekly basis. In this basis, the compensation will depend on the number of weeks you work. The more weeks you work, the more compensation you will receive. And the last one is the monthly basis. In this basis, the compensation will depend on the number of months you work. The more months you work, the more compensation you will receive. And that is the 5 bases of compensation. Despite that there are already bases of compensation, there are still factors that can influence it. There are 2 factors: the internal factors and the external factors. When we say internal factors, these are the inside factors that can affect your compensation. For example, the importance of your job. If your job is more important than the others, the compensation you will receive will also be more than the others. But if your job is less important, the compensation will also be lesser. The second one is the external factors. When we say external factors, these are the outside factors that can influence your compensation. For example, the current situation of the market. If there are more customers who buys your product, there will be also more compensation you will receive. But if there are few customers who buys your product, your compensation will also be lesser. And that's all. The discussion will end here. Thank you for listening everyone. Hope you enjoy.